Okay.
Okay. All right, we're live. Okay, hello, nurse coach, tech support community. I'm super excited to be here. I am live here with Amy Colombo, and before we dive into, what we're going to do today, I'll just do a short intro here. So, for those of you who don't know me or are new to the group, I'm Sean Arsenault. I'm a board certified nurse coach, a tech guru. I created this community because I see how much people struggle with technology and running a business. This is stuff that they don't teach us in nursing school. So, luckily, I nerd out on this stuff a lot. And in this group and in my private membership, I help nurse coaches who struggle with like the tech stuff in business and learn how to really leverage different platforms to to systematize their practice and make it run more efficiently. So I'm here doing a series of live interviews with current members of my private membership, Nurse Coach Tech Mastery. If you don't know about the membership, in a nutshell, it's basically a place where nurse coaches building their private practices can go to get support specifically in the area of all things tech, right? And systems and organization and visibility. Library of resources and tutorials on how to use all different types of platforms. And we have a private Facebook group, all the good things. So today I'm featuring one of my members of Nurse Coach Tech Mastery, and I'm sure you all know her, Amy Colombo. She's a fellow nurse coach, and we have some time at the end to kind of check in and see like what she's up to in her practice and where you can all connect with her. But thank you, Amy, for being here and decide and being willing to share about your experience. I'm super excited to feature you.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Shawnee. I'm really excited to be here with you as your guest,
Yeah.
being that we have this relationship as peers in
Yeah.
starting our businesses together. And look where we're at now in year two. It's really exciting to see where you're at and how your business has grown.
Thank you. Yeah, it is kind of cool because we graduated at the same time. And like, I keep forgetting that. I keep forgetting that we graduated at the same time and have kind of been like building our businesses alongside each other. We were in the same container and everything. So, um, so can you like give me a picture of like what your practice was like before joining the membership? Like what did you struggle with the most? What were your big like hangups?
Oh my gosh. Everything and anything, initially looking back, when you're starting in entrepreneurship, and we're not just jumping into entrepreneurship, we're jumping into coaching is new for me, entrepreneurship was new for me, social media was new for me. Before my business, I had just consumed it on the down low, with like my 80 Facebook friends and would just pick and choose what I would watch. So like everything was really new for me.
Hmm.
And I dove into just connecting, inviting, because that's what we were told to do in our container by our coach. And that's what created clients early on. And they gave us permission in our coaching container to focus more on that. What happened was a couple months in, I actually started creating a bunch of clients, and then I got like this panic mode because I was like, holy shit, like I
Yeah.
didn't do any of like the groundwork. I didn't do any of the tech stuff. I didn't do any of the like foundational stuff.
Hmm.
So I had like this panic mode. And I remember when you created Tech Mastery.
Yeah.
Okay, I just want to share this because I think this is really interesting. There's two pieces to this.
Yeah.
Number one, Tech Mastery was like a miracle that you created. It was almost like you created the exact fucking thing I needed when I needed it, right?
Yes. Yes.
And here we are as like new coaches and peers, and like you're working through your like stuff. And I'm working through my stuff. So it was like this miracle thing, like even just, and it was the basics, Shawnee, like the basics. I remember diving into your first module of how to get organized.
Hmm.
And like that is something I struggle with to this day. Um, but I remember I just like did what you said to do. This is like a rule I have, even with my coaches.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
do what they tell me to do, right? I
right.
just do what they tell me to do. So
Yeah,
I did what you said to do in that module, and I took the time to put everything on Google Drive.
yeah,
And I want to say, if you were to ask me, like, what was the most monumental thing in the program, that was it for me because
yeah.
now I have everything in Google,
Mm-hmm.
and I even have a guy now that works for me and helps me with some like social media stuff, and like we have a shared folder in there. If
Yeah,
I travel, like the Google Drive is wherever I travel, it's on my phone in my app.
yeah.
And before that, I was just using, like, I was saving it to documents on my computer.
Mm-hmm.
So like um I kind of veered off probably into another question, but really like
Yeah,
that was huge for me. That very basic foundational get your ass organized.
yeah,
And all my stuff is organized there on the Google folder, and that was like really huge for me.
yeah,
Um I just want to share one other thing
yeah.
that was really big. Okay, and I'm going to share this, and this is like a vulnerable share, but
Right.
like when you created Tech Mastery, it really triggered me in that I got so jealous of you
Mm,
because you had all the beautiful strengths and skills that like I didn't have. And the people that were out there that I was like aspiring to be like, that I looked up, when you created this Tech Mastery, it was so beautifully put together. It was like, oh my God, look at this thing. And I remember I got really, really jealous. And it actually forced me to take a deeper dive into that because I
mm,
recognized it. And I
yeah,
just want to share that, you know, when jealousy comes up, jealousy can look different ways. But I remember like I was like literally mad at you, like I was projecting anger onto you.
yes.
And at the same time making myself feel like a piece of crap, right? And
Right.
then I had to do my deeper work through it, and I realized like I was able to get to the other side of that jealousy, which was, oh my gosh, like I'm actually really inspired by her.
Mm-hmm.
And right, because the thing that causes jealousy in me, I'm actually inspired by. It's the thing I aspire to have. And I remember like I did that work, and that was some of the deepest, most profound work I ever did in year one. It even led me to like create workshops on like the sister wound and healing that unsafety women have around women. And like when we
Yeah.
went to the retreat, remember I vulnerably shared with you
I
because I had gotten to
remember.
the other side of it. Like I want to recommend, if you're going to share vulnerably, wait till you're like calm and on the other side of it, right?
Right,
But
right.
like when I was on the other side of it, I shared with you, and like we just got so close from that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember it like it was yesterday. Like it was, if it's so clear in my memory, because I also remember feeling the same feelings towards you for different reasons. Like the way that, like, just the way that you present yourself with such confidence and the way that you're connecting with people, like the deep work that you do with people, like that's what I was jealous of. And so, like, it was interesting that we were having very similar experiences, and then we kind of like both had this amazing like growth moment with each other at our retreat. But then like the fact that you also kind of leaned into like where you know your strengths are not, and like decided to kind of move through that jealousy and like accept the support, right? And get the support that you need to like make your business go where you want it to go. Because I feel like a lot of people get really caught up in that of like, these aren't my strengths, that just means I'm not going to be able to do this, like or like they have that panic moment that you had, and then it like completely stops them. um so like
Yeah.
with you moving through all of those things that you had to work through to like jump in, join the membership, like utilize all of the resources without getting overwhelmed, like what was, tell me a little bit about that, because I know people sometimes can think about coming into this membership, looking at all the content and being like, whoa, there's a lot. Like how did you
Yeah.
navigate your entry into the membership and not get too caught up?
Yeah. So I give myself permission to go in and get what I need when I need it. Um, and not let my like, oh my God, there's all this stuff in there, because, you know, your membership is it's a great price. It's amazing value. Like you really created this beautiful membership and it's unique in its own way. Um, and what really, really got me, Sean, was like those 3 one-to-one sessions that you give too during the year. Like, and here's what I want to say. My biggest takeaway, the best thing I got out of that one-to-one session, the last one that we had, was I had a question on like Vimeo,
Yeah.
and that's not even like in your program, right?
Right.
But it was the question I like needed answered. And from you answering that one question, I was able to do this amazing monumental thing in my business for my program. So now
Yeah.
I use Vimeo for my program and it's like really amazing. So like I think of that and I think like, you know, when you have a call or whatever, you just need like that one, you don't even know what the one question is you need answered. That's like, you're so grateful to have Shawnee,
Yeah.
this tech guru. And what I love is that you love tech. And I
Yeah.
remember you saying that you're like, I love tech.
I
This
get
is fun for
super
me.
nerdy about it. It's kind of embarrassing, but also not. Like I've learned to embrace it. I've learned to embrace like the nerdy in me about it. Um, and I love that you said like I love that you shared a little bit about like, your question about Vimeo and like I don't cover
Hmm.
everything there is in tech in the modules, but like the really big part that I feel like a lot of people find helpful is those live calls, like the either the one-to-one or the group like Q&A calls that we have, because I mean it's hard to
Yeah.
put all of the stuff into videos, but whenever you think about like the platforms that you use, they're always figure outable. And that's the cool thing about like I really like figuring stuff out. So even if I'm like not familiar with a platform, I think I did this with another call up with another member live on the call. I like checked it out and looked at it and kind of like worked through it with her on the call, and then it was like figured out, right? So yeah, that's why I offer those like one-on-one, like it's not just the videos, it's not just the modules or whatever. So I love that was like a big win for you. what
Yeah.
what would you say is like the biggest thing that you created inside of your own practice that you
Yeah.
took from the membership, like since becoming a member?
Yeah. So the biggest thing that I have created just recently in my practice is a group program. And I'm running it. I actually just launched its fourth round today. Okay,
Yeah.
so I'm running the fourth round of it. I'm so proud of it. You remember when I
I
started it?
remember. I remember. I
Yep,
remember helping you build it. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. And just the last round, I started off with nothing. I started off selling this beautiful idea I had, and I created the content as I went, and it was in a Google Drive shared folder with the women for the first 2 rounds. And this third round, I got it in practice better. So, like,
Awesome.
now I have it in practice better, and the modules are released at a certain time. And like, that made me feel, Shawnee,
Yay.
like I had arrived.
Yes. I love it. Oh my gosh, that makes me so excited for you.
And you helped me. I remember I like booked that one-to-one call right when I was doing it, and you helped me. And I watched all your videos on like practice better. And like, again, I always go in and take what I need when I need it. So when I was doing that, I know I went in and I watched some of your videos on like how to
Yeah, there's like a
do it.
programs deep dive in there to like set up a program. Yeah.
Yeah, so I watched all those videos and I love videos because I'm not a reader. Like I'm
Yeah.
a, for those out there that have like ADHD like I do,
Same.
it's
I
like
don't read. I mean, I can't.
yeah,
I read, but like
right.
I would rather do video. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's really, really great. You have the handouts, it's easy to follow. But yeah, that was a huge tech accomplishment for me, and just really to make me feel like professional.
Yeah.
Um, and you helped me to do it. Like I said, with that one-to-one call and also with the modules in the tech mastery on how to with practice better. And um, I will say too, after I launched it in practice better, I just kept like sending them we had to iron out some of the kinks, me and the women, like some things that I did. And I just kept sending help ticket, help ticket, help ticket to them.
Yeah.
And, you know, they respond within a certain time frame. But yeah, you really helped me to
Mm.
create that.
Ooh, okay. I love what you said there of like because it's like you just needed to be empowered to figure it out, right? And like I love that you didn't because I know some people tend to do this of like if there's a person that seems to have a lot of the answers, like you tend to lean on them and use them as a crutch or like really, um like it disempowers you from figuring out your own like figuring out the answers. And what I heard is that like you needed like this program kind of gave you that little nudge of like I actually can do this, like I actually can like figure it out, like tech isn't scary, it's not it's just a tool. Um and I think that's super empowering, especially for like newer nurse coaches coming out of certification of like getting really worried about like utilizing things like practice because practice better is kind of a beast. So um I like that you utilize their like help because they are super helpful.
They are. And like I said, I did do some things that I had to switch, but I was like, okay, I'm just gonna send the message. Like I would look in their help thing, see if they had an FAQ that answered my question, and 9 out of 10, 10 times they didn't. So I
Yeah.
would send a help ticket and they would respond to me, and then I would just switch it and I would just tell the women in the chat, like, just bear with me, we're ironing this out.
Yeah.
Um, and I actually like practice better probably because it's the thing I started with and I'm just comfortable with it.
Yeah.
Um, and your tech mastery program gets nice and deep into it
Yeah.
and helps us along. So
Yeah, yeah, for sure. I know I'm obsessed with practice, but I actually really love the platform. There's so much like I feel like there's so many features in Practice Better that like nobody knows about. Nobody like really even knows that you can do programs or courses or send out broadcast emails and all of this awesome stuff. So like if you're just starting out, it's like the one platform that I suggest people get because it's just so all encompassing. Um
yeah, I just want to chime in there and say, like, I continue to accidentally discover new features on it, like as I'm
yeah.
using it. Like I just discovered how I can click on the form itself and see everybody's response in one
Yes.
place.
Yep.
And I didn't know that before. Like I get feedback from the women after my group, and I would click individually on their feedback forms, but now I can click on the form and I could see all their feedback in one place.
Yes.
And I just like accidentally discovered that. I just started using the chat space for my clients in Practice
Nice.
Better. And that's amazing. I get really good feedback from them on it. Yeah, I mean, I'm using the crap out of Practice Better. I send all my emails from like I use it a lot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I love it. I love it. Yeah, there's so much. And obviously the platform is always updating. And that's the cool thing about the membership too, is that like if anything does change significantly, I can just update it. And everybody in the space has the updated information. Or I can talk about it on like a call or something like that. And all of our like Q&A calls. And now I've included workshops into the membership. Those are all like recorded and so that you all have those as resources. Um,
Yeah. Yeah, it's really it's a beautiful thing that you created. I remember saying thank you to you when you first created it because I was
yeah.
like, thank you, Shawnee. Like, because there's other tech people out there that have, you know, similar things, but like you literally created this for us. Like
Yeah.
you created this for us, the nurse coaches. There's no better tech mastery program that we could have.
Yeah.
Honestly, like that's the truth. Like, it was brilliant. Again, it's why I was so goddamn jealous of you because it was so brilliant that I was so jealous. I was like, so
Oh my
mad.
gosh. Thank you. I am receiving that. I'm
Yes,
working on receiving.
receive that. Hmm.
um okay, well I'm curious to know, is there anything that you are most excited about moving forward as a member or something that you haven't been able to dive into yet that's in the membership or something you're wanting to see in the future?
Yeah, well, I need to be reminded sometimes of these things every once in a while. So, just by virtue of you reaching out to me, I like jumped back in to see what's in there. I
Yeah,
just booked my next one-to-one call with you,
perfect.
and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is so good. And I love the workshop that you're doing. I'm going to go to it. I got the email for it. What's your first workshop that you're doing? It's
So I did an email marketing one that was last month, but this month is Instagram Reels.
Yeah, that's the one. Or maybe it's for next. I just saw you send it out for something
Oh,
and I was like,
content. There's content. So these are not like specific to the membership, but because you're a member, you get registered for it.
okay,
Content creation and how to be a Heartline CEO.
that's the one.
Yeah,
Yeah, I was like, oh, I'm going to that.
yeah,
Yeah,
yes.
well, see, those are the little perks that we
Hmm.
get for being in the membership. Yeah, and these are really, again, really amazing workshops that you're creating for nurse coaches. So,
Hmm.
yeah, I'll
Yeah.
be there.
Cool, cool. Okay. Well, I mean, I feel like, yeah, there's a lot more we could talk about here, but just for like
Mhm.
time's sake, what where can people find you? Like where if I know you've created this amazing program with the help of the membership. So if people want to like jump in and check it out, where can they find you?
Yeah, I would love for people to connect with me. So, Facebook is probably my favorite platform. Um, Amy Colombo, just spelled with my regular name. And I'm also on Instagram, Coach Amy Colombo. And I help predominantly nurses and coaches and mothers really break free of their people pleasing, people pleasing perfectionism and high achieving patterns and, start creating confidence and courage in their lives. So,
Mhm.
my program is Confidence Through Emotional Mastery, and it just launched today. We go live, it's a small group of women, and we go live in September. And I would love for everyone to grab my freebie. So I created a confidence mini series freebie. It's actually a free program on Practice Better.
Yes. I was about to say,
Yeah,
where is it hosted?
yeah, it's a free, so it's a program that I created on Practice Better, and it's just like a little snippet of the bigger program that I have, but it's completely free. And I set my own goal this year to help 100 nurse coaches and mothers to create confidence in their lives. So 50 people have grabbed it already, which is awesome.
Wow, awesome.
Yeah. And if anybody here wants to grab it,
Yeah,
yeah, just
I'll put all of those links in in I say show notes because I also do podcasts, not show notes,
yeah.
in the in the comments for you, so that is easily accessible to any of you who want to grab that freebie from Amy and check out her program. Um I so appreciate you being here, Amy, and for sharing your experience. I think it's going to be really helpful for people who are like really stuck in the tech stuff. And just don't know like where to go, where to start. It can be really overwhelming, right? So I'm glad that you were here to share your experience with everyone.
I want to just share one giant like mindset shift.
Yeah.
Okay. This is a mindset shift. As frustrating as tech can be for people, just think that you can kind of allow yourself and give yourself permission to get a little lost in it, which sometimes can feel nice when the energy of connecting and inviting gets to be a little too much,
Yeah.
right? So, like for me, like I, for me, it's like this balance. So sometimes when I'm spending a lot of time on tech or getting to learn something, I'll just say, hey, like I'm giving myself permission to spend a few hours on this.
Yeah.
And you know what? This is less energy consuming than getting out and connecting for today. So again, it's all about a mindset, like how you look at it. So that's just like
Yes.
a little power thought that I've created for myself to not feel like it's overwhelming, because then I could kind of roll my shoulders back and be like, okay, like yeah,
Yeah.
this feels good for today. I don't mind getting lost in the
Yes.
tech.
Love it. Yeah, I love that you brought that up, the mindset stuff, because it isn't just about how to use the platforms. It's about your energy before you go into using them. And that's actually a lot for those of you who are like wanting to get more into like creating more content and like being out there more online. I have a workshop coming up this Friday called Heart Centered Content Creation, and believe it or not, I barely talk about strategy. I barely talk about what platforms to use and blah blah blah. It's a lot about mindset actually. So I'm really glad that you brought that up because yes, there's like technical logistical things that go into it, but a lot of it is to like the mindset and to allow yourself the permission to learn and be like new at something and have it be uncomfortable and it be okay, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's okay. Like
It's
there's
okay.
nothing, yeah, it's okay. And eventually maybe we'll be paying people to do some of this stuff for us, but for right
Right.
now, it's okay.
It's okay. Yes, exactly. Okay, so if hearing about like Amy's experience and the membership has if hearing about what like you've created, right? You've created so many amazing things in your business. If this excites you, if you would love to create something in your own practice, but you don't really know like where to start, with setting up all the tech and the systems to successfully build it, I invite all of you amazing nurse coaches to join us in Nurse Coach Tech Mastery. It's a really fun community. We have a lot of fun. It's not so like, you know, whenever I think about people um using tech for their business, like everybody ends up like getting so frustrated and like wants to throw their computer out the window, and it's not like that in our community. Like we have a lot of fun on our calls, and there's no stupid questions, there's no wrong questions to ask. Like, you know, you're totally accepted and safe in that environment. So the doors are open for the membership now, and I've actually opened the membership up, you know, indefinitely, so you can join at any time now. I used to have opened and closed times for you to join, but you can now join at any time. I'll drop the link in the comments as well for all of you who want to check it out and learn more. We would love to have you. Thank you again, Amy. I'm so
Yeah.
glad that I got to spend this time with you, and I hope that this was helpful for nurse coaches out there who are struggling. All the
Yeah,
struggle.
me too.
Cool.
Awesome. Thanks, Sean. Thanks for having
You're
me.
welcome. Okay.